Yo, what's up, YouTube? Um, Welcome to another week of hyper analysis. I like doing these weekly. I feel like a lot of people in my comments seem to actually enjoy them. They learn something from them, so I will definitely keep it up. On this episode, we have actually a very interesting game. I think it's in this game you can really see how to snowball as an AD, UD slash UD in general, in my opinion. And yeah, let's get right into it, I guess. We have Mr. Jace versus Ornn in the top lane as a matchup. Jace doesn't really provide you any gank setup other than him having extremely high damage, which you could count as a gank setup. Like, Ornn would take a lot of damage while he is stunned from you, but again, Udyr is not great at ganking lanes that don't have setup early. We have Cassiopeia and Syndra. I mean, quite honestly, mid lane is not really Udyr's lane. It's very short. You can't chase anybody down, so it is kind of irrelevant. You always kind of path into one of the longer lanes. And then on bot, we have Rakan, which unfortunately in this game doesn't have Glacial and Severe, but we do have setup here against the Bard and Twitch. Twitch is relatively immobile, even though he has Ghost Flash Q up. He's like a mid-tier mobility for an ADC right now. Ghost is meta, unfortunately, which is a bit cringe. Which is also, by the way, kind of why I don't really like Ghost on Udyr anymore, but maybe I can talk about this in another video. Yeah. Bot then is the strongest lane, ADC scale the strongest after mid-game plus, and we path bot side. Bot side has dragons, top lane is not a really attractive gank, so we're not gonna go there. Only path top if top is a hardcore snowball matchup with a champion that scales into mid-late, right? Jace does scale kind of into mid-late, but not really our priority. Alright. Speed this up a little bit. Blue pad, always blue pad, it's just better in my opinion. Hold up, fucked up with the chat here. Here I'm just kind of thinking, can I get a ward into his raptors? I don't know who's there. They have a Bard, they have an Ornn. I could get caught here. Usually what you do as a full clear jungler, in my opinion, is you kind of want to defend your raptors from warding, right? So you're gonna stand here and kind of try to defend that, but this game I tried to walk up here and get a ward in here because I saw Cassiopeia is already defending this area, so yeah. Okay, well, start is quite normal. I started to clear from buff camp again, even though your second clear is a bit slower. I kind of feel like, for me personally, I get a more consistent gameplay if I do this. Gong starts top side, so he paths into us. Very normal clear here. Cass gets first blood, very nice. I mean, obviously, as a jungler that plays for level 4, it is kind of good to see your team do well before you finish your first clear. Getting our Crux here, getting our red buff here, pretty standard. I mean, you guys have seen it like a million times. So now there's something I want to talk about. I feel like as an Udyr, from my perspective, you have a few options after your first clear. You can crab into gank, or crab into crab, you can crab into invade, you can river fight, you can gank lanes. In my opinion, the most worth play you can do is crab invade, because what that implies is that your lanes are shoved in. You only do that if your lanes are shoved in, right? If you know that the enemy jungler clears slower than you, slower than crab spawn, and he is still in jungle and he's pathing towards you, what you can do is basically just take the crab and try to fuck with him on Grump. Doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get it. They have usually smite up still, but fucking with them alone here would be good, right? Doing the crab here, I'm thinking, Wukong is probably here. Checking it out. Okay, Wukong is not here. Kind of wasted my time. Bard cancels me here. All good. I'm backing, but I'm seeing mid lane there is some action. She is kind of low. Maybe I can cross over to river and do something here. I walk up. I know she doesn't have flash, so I'm not even E2ing. She stuns Syndra here. As you can see, I was already in my E when this fight started, right? Like, look at this, because we know that Syndra's can E us away. Here I'm in E, boom. I could have E2'd. I thought she's gonna do it on me, but she didn't. I kill her here. I'm not 100% sure Wukong wasn't in bot side jungle. I knew that he started top side. So here I'm like wondering if Crab is already gone. I'm kind of just pushing this out with Syndra because I know that he is topside on back and this guy would die against him without summoner spells, even though he has phase rush. It is a bit risky and you get some free XP for that. Okay, moving on. I'm staying on the map here because my camps are respawning. Your second respawn to third respawn of camps is probably the most important because this is the camps that are gonna like give you basically all your baseline golden XP for the second crab slash dragon slash herald fight, right? So second, third respawn timer, do immediately. Farm as fast as possible. Switch is what we do here. I'm backing here. What could I do here? So there's like a few takeaways in this situation. I don't see Bard on the map, so what I'm thinking is Bard is probably like here, fucking around, warding shit, so I'm not gonna like just walk into Dragon Pit, even though I have double priors, right? I'm kind of like thinking I don't have ward, I can't even ward over the wall to check, I would have to walk up here, and then I would already be in trouble. Instead of doing that, if you want to like have a consistent gameplay on Udyr, I'm just going back, setting up for my second clear. I know that Wukong is bot, I pinged them back, a little bit too late, as per usual. Bard walks into my jungle here, very interesting. We take the ward away, we know that the second crab is spawning. Guys, second crab is huge, but do understand that it is an RNG objective. You can't force where crab is gonna spawn, and you can't completely neglect your clear for second crab. But it's basically, if I remember the XP changes correctly, Gromp gives you, Crab gives you as much XP as a Gromp about that. Here I'm thinking, okay, maybe I invade. I have like some XP on Wukong. He's probably not, he's either not level 6 yet, or he just hit level 6, but I could bait out ult. My camps are still respawning, I wouldn't lose a lot here. Well, it happens that Bard is the top side, so I'm getting spooked and I'm walking away. So again, snowballing on AD Udyr is about making small progresses, like having good clears, etc, etc. Here's also like an interesting talking point. I feel like I see this situation happening both sides, right? All my camps are respawning. The reason why I don't commit for my camps here is because Dragon is up, and Udyr's Snowball kind of, in my opinion, like AD Udyr. I'm gonna specifically talk about AD Udyr here because that's where I have my most experience with Udyr. Kind of snowballs through taking objectives in river fights, so I'm like willing to take this even though I see that my Rakan is low and I don't know where Twitch is at that moment. But I see a fat wave under the turret, so I'm thinking most ADCs probably greed for the wave here and not take this game-winning fight. So Bard ditches. Wukong has W here. Keep in mind he could just W over. He could have W here and taken this route. I'm just here to make sure that my bot lane doesn't completely grief. He ults me. He Ws aggressively. He ults me again. He just dies. Do the dragon here. After dragon, I would have another option that in-game I probably just didn't realize or I didn't care for. Here, what I could have done is walk into his jungle and take a camp or two. However, from my experience, taking enemy camps usually is a waste of time, especially if they know you could do that. Bard could be there, fuck with me, there could be wards, etc. So I'm just clearing my jungle here, honestly. There's a play top lane, Bard is the top side. All good and dandy. Here, another interesting point about pathing. What I do sometimes is I skip my last camp of my clear to get crab. And then when I take crab on the opposite side of that camp, my jungle camps are gonna respawn anyways, right? And I can path bot side again and take this, what is that, third respawn camp? Which is totally fine. It still nets me more XP, and it takes away XP from Wukong potentially, so taking this. I have the boys in the river here, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take Herald, right? We have numbers advantage, dicking around a little bit here, and I'm just going back to clearing, honestly. Top side, there is a play. Of course, we know that Wukong is top lane right now. He has been semi-consistently farming. I mean, he's only like, what, 17 CS behind me right now? There's like two different types of junglers, and in my opinion, as Ude, you're the second option. But the first option would be you're staying here in case Wukong wants to gank top lane and our Jace doesn't back off. This is the good boy play, I would say. The bad boy play is you just clear your entire jungle and don't care. You're just gonna give him the information at Wukong is top side. He has a ward in this bush, right? Worst case scenario, he's a bad laner. Big whoop, man. Happens way too often. So here I'm seeing Wukong walk up. Well, I want to talk about this actually, because mistakes are mistakes, and mistakes are there to learn from them. I walked topside like an idiot. I could have just cleared, gank bot side, have a nicer situation bot side. Maybe they don't have sums. Maybe push bot lane with the boys, etc., etc. I have Shelly. I have so many options here, right? What I do is the most retarded thing. I fight Wukong and I completely underestimate how much damage this champion deals with two components. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I die here and fucking end. Huge mistake. Just walk away there, drop this play, full clear. So interesting, even though Wukong killed me just now, we are still 500 gold ahead. 3 minutes ago we were probably more like 800 gold ahead. Very interesting. This is just consistent farming and getting crabs and getting more than the enemy jungler, really. Now, I will say that catch-up XP is a bit broken in League of Legends right now. Let's see the gank. I smite the Syndra here in order to break her first strike so she doesn't even proc it on anybody. I kill Syndra here with the basic stance and then super stance on Wukong after seeing that his clone just expired and he doesn't have W to split my Q2 lightning damage, right? Don't use your super stance if you know you kill the enemy in the same amount of time with your basic stances. It's not a good play at all. Wukong is dead here. So far so good, we have one death. AD Ude, you wanna have low deaths unless you're behind. Then you have to play a little bit into, in my opinion. We get played here, I'm like, okay, I could greed for like a little bit more here, but this is good. We have like 1 minute for plates to disappear, and I'm taking the plates where I can. Now my top side is respawning, and there's a play top side, and I want you guys to see why I backed off here. I saw him walk into this direction, and I could see that he's less than half HP, so in my head, he just dies in the next 2 seconds, right? But somehow On fucks up his E, whatever. 4 people are top anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? It would have been terrible. Our Cass is dying randomly here for a play that doesn't even matter. And the dragon is spawning, which I'm pinging. Dragon is up, guys. Yabba dabba do. What the fuck just happened? How are we playing like this in Diamond 1-ish either? So right now I'm thinking, I am not gonna get this Drake. Our only hope is to make the enemy team not get Drake. If I kill Wukong here, then everybody can respawn and we have a second chance on the second Drake, right? So I'm standing here, try to stun Wukong there. Wukong unfortunately W'd as soon as he saw me, or he W'd because he wanted to get in range of Severe. Kill Wukong under the turret. All good. Wukong is dead. They're probably not gonna Drake. Here I'm thinking, maybe I can kill Twitch with Flash. I have a little technical mistake here. First of all, you flash earlier a second because your approach velocity would give you movement speed earlier, so you would maybe take an auto attack less. QQ is fine. WW, in my opinion, isn't. What I should have done here is stun him instead. If I stun him here, then he doesn't heal with Blade, he doesn't proc his third Blade proc, and it's genuinely the better option, in my opinion. It's a stun, which is a guaranteed auto attack, into another guaranteed auto attack. W is fine here. Fight is, like, close, because I did this. Since damage is so high, every little mistake kills you as a bruiser. My cast is pinging Dragon here. I don't know why. Like, I'm low and 4 people are up, and 3 of them could be bot side. Why would you ever do flip the Drake here solo? I mean, duo, I guess. Bot lane was also still base, so... Here what I'm thinking is I'm gonna get a nice reset. By the way, the Sheen purchase, let me just address this. This is not really something you guys have to implement into your gameplay. It's just something I like to do. Usually what I do is, since Gore Drinker and Stridebreaker have pickaxe as part of their components when you build them, I build a Sheen. Because I think usually we buy a pickaxe into Mythic, buying Sheen into Mythic is almost the same gold. It's like 175 less gold, so yeah. Here I'm thinking, okay, I respawned. I'm not gonna full clear. Dragon is still up. I want to have presence on Dragon. I'm strong right now. I have 1.5 items plus Sheen. So I just walk up to Dragon, do red, and walk up to Dragon. I want to have objective control. This is kind of how AD Udyr scales. They fuck up a play here, underestimate how strong I am. And we are slowly but surely making elite happen. Yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe blue is up. I see Twitch solo bot lane, and I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure we saw Bard here earlier, didn't we? We saw Bard somewhere here. We saw Bard mid lane while this play was happening. And I'm seeing Twitch first, I'm checking for this. My thought is, I'm gonna get blue, I kill Bard. Oopsie, blue's not here, boomer moment. So here you have two other options. Either Bard walks here or here and you can kill Bard before he intercepts my bot lane from diving. Or if he doesn't go bot lane and he goes top lane, do something else, you can also just help your bot dive. We are getting to a point in the game, by the way, which I also want to point out, is Udyr, where you don't AFK farm anymore. You don't full sequence. You're stronger than Wukong right now. You have one of your stances maxed out. You're level 11. You should be on the map right now. You should be, definitely. So, fastest combo here, QQ auto attack into Go Drinker auto attack, cancel into QQ auto attack. Get both of them, get the turret, all good and dandy. Here I'm just taking the wave. I'm a little bit spooked by Own. I don't really have divine procs this game because I went Go Drinker. By the way, why did I go Go Drinker? I just wanted to. Doesn't really matter. Let's see what happens here. My Syndra kills 2 people, we get a free objective. This is just all part of like your team snowballing. And yeah, it's a pretty chill game. Right now, you have about 1 minute and a quarter minute, no, 2 minutes and a quarter minute before Nash spawns. Right now, your obligation as a team is not to end, because there's no objective to fight over. Sure, we could flip for this turret, and we will, and you guys will see what happens. But we have time on Shelly, right? I don't know how long it's left. We could have just done something else, something safer. But here we clear. We bozo it, we take the crap. I'm like, taking my wolves, still pretty smart here. Ash is not up yet. Big oopsie, I walk mid lane here. Why do I walk mid lane? Because I'm thinking, we are strong. Let's ARAM a bit. It's fun, guys. It's so fun. Right? People die like everybody is paper in season 13, right? It's not, like, we are not tanky. Twitch having 1 item smokes us a bit here. So, if you guys want to see what happens this fight. I killed Twitch, but I die in CC and we just lose the fight. Our cast wasn't even here. Absolutely terrible decision. Which is honestly, arguably, I'm not a Cassiopeia player, but it's followed up by another bad play. She overstays, fine, she escapes here. Rakan is here. We know that 4 people are topside. We just saw them, right? When Cassiopeia got chased. She gets a nice stun here. Champion is absolutely fucking disgusting. Broken so she doesn't die here. But taking this fight 13 seconds before Nash spawns 2v4 is terrible macro. Terrible macro. But I can't really complain because I trolled myself. But play mid lane. Here, taking mid lane turret with Severe into jungle, waiting for the third dragon to spawn. This stage of the game, usually you have wards deeper into enemy territory than they do into your territory, simply because you have turrets taken and champions farm here instead of here, so they are less likely to stop our support from warding. Here he doesn't. The point I'm trying to make is you're kind of safer to take enemy camps without getting your camps taken. It's way riskier for Wukong and way less risky for me because of how the waves are and the vision usually follows the waves. Getting the crab here. I know that dragon is spawning, so I just want to get my red buff. Keeping my super stance up, giving red buff to Severe, really important. Just as a quick check, I don't actually know how much gold we are ahead here. We are over 1000 gold ahead. Pretty good. Small leads. Wukong also has kills, right? You can't always like force that. But here we are so strong that we have Black Cleaver, we have Gore Drinker, we have armor boots and armor. We have a lot of shit right now. The enemy team is just getting overwhelmed here. Not much they can do. We would get the third dragon into Nash, which is basically GG after that. And the enemy team surrenders. Quite simple, guys. Quite simple. What are the takeaways from this video? First of all, get your clears done. Don't do too much random shit in the early game. Just get your 3 clears done, get your items, look for smart fights on the map. Like, fighting to make sure that you have a chance on dragon is okay, but ganking because your mid laner thinks you can dive the enemy Vladimir who has face rush, ghost and flash up just because he's half HP is a bad play. You should always look to farm, you should always look to secure dragons and heralds, which is in my opinion how you scale. As AD Ude, how you not necessarily scale, but more so push your lead. That's how you snowball, right? Which this video is about. Get the right items and have low devs, honestly. Have a safe game, high CS, more gold, and win that way. You don't have to force invades constantly. You're not Lee Sin. If your team dies before you finish your first clear, this is absolutely not your fault. This is them being bad and not understanding Udyr or the enemy jungler or both. If the enemy jungler gets a gank on your mid laner because they are playing Rek'Sai and you're playing Udyr and your mid laner just didn't give a shit about the Rek'Sai gank that you potentially ping out or type, or even if you don't, that is not your fault. That is your laner being bad, and you should not play for your laners being bad. I hope you guys have learned something from this episode. I will do this like weekly, so with that being said, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you like my channel, you can subscribe. You can always change your mind later. And see you next Friday, I guess. This is a weekly thing now, so for the people who like it, I hope you enjoy it, man. Bye-bye.